Everyone, welcome to Weather for Weather Geeks on this Tuesday evening. Boy, what an afternoon we had. The severe weather, a lot of this weather that we had this afternoon was not the technical definition of severe. We didn't have a lot of wind gusts in excess of 58 or hail 1 inch in diameter, but we did have really heavy storms that produced a lot of lightning and thunder, and most importantly, some flash flooding problems. Just what we didn't need. I'll admit that these storms packed a little more punch than I thought they would. Conditions didn't look real great to me for these storms to produce the kind of flooding situations that they did, but yes, indeed. And thanks to everyone who sent in some pictures on Facebook and Twitter. Peruse my Facebook page, my Twitter page as well to find a lot of these flooding pictures that I did share. If I get time this evening, I'll put some of them on Instagram as well. All right, quick sampling of rainfall totals. Did not see a total from a rain gauge anywhere in Girard or Mineral Ridge, but I do know the flooding was pretty bad there. In Salem, the flooding was pretty bad, and they had close to 1.5 inches worth of rain at one of the rain gauges, pretty close to Salem this afternoon. Sharon, pretty close to 3/4 of an inch. 2/3 of an inch in Boardman, Howland, 1/2 inch or so, and over in Mercer County, a few spots did get more than an inch, including right around the Shenango Recreation area. So this was a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and with the ground saturated, it just runs off. And of course, all the creeks are running high, so it didn't take much for them to, kind of overflow their banks. Now, we're wrapping up June this evening, and here's a look at the last 30 days. This is the rainfall compared to average across the region. As you can see, way above average for a large swath of the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, and into the lower Great Lakes, over into the mid-Atlantic states as well. Another bullseye right through there. As far as the total precipitation in inches, let's take a look at that. And zoom in on our local area here. A lot of deep reds here. Let me bring up the legend. Legend. Why are you not coming up? Well, I'm not sure why they can't get the legend to come up. But anyway, of course, locally we've had as much as 8, 9, 10, even 11 or 12 inches worth of rain. You find a few spots as we zoom all the way into our local area here where you start getting some of these deep, deep reds and even whites. That's more than 10 inches worth of rain. If I would show you that if the legend would come up. But anyway, of course, it's been a June for the record books. Thankfully, it is ending tonight, and July promises to be at least a little bit different. Now, as I recorded this at about 7:20 p.m., here was the radar. Showers pushing away and the clouds hanging around. They're thinning some, but generally pretty cloudy still out there this evening. As we head through the overnight, could be a stray shower, but that's about it. We're not looking at much in the way of additional rain at all. So whatever rainfall totals for the month we have at 7:30 in the evening, those will probably be just about the final numbers for the month of June. I'll be sure and give you a full list before the evening is through. As far as what the future holds, tomorrow I think can start out with a lot of clouds for the first day of July, and even a little bit of drizzle or a shower tomorrow morning. There's going to be just kind of damp weather, I think, at the start of the day. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, the atmosphere is going to dry out pretty nicely. So I think we're dry, we're turning sunny, high pressure situated over Lake Superior by the end of the day tomorrow. There's our low spinning up across Quebec, and we should be in pretty good shape tomorrow afternoon. I think as we go into Thursday, we've been kind of paying attention to the model trends here, and the trends have definitely been farther south with the moisture. The front's going to see a little wave of low pressure along it, but it's going to be far enough south that I don't think we have to worry about any precipitation on Thursday. We'll see some clouds from this. It'll be a partly sunny or a mix of sun and clouds kind of a day Thursday, but we do look dry. And then Friday, beautiful day coming up on Friday, center of our high over Lake Huron, and just spectacular Friday. It'll be comfortable, the humidity, not much of a factor, just a great early July day. And some people might have a 3-day weekend, of course, with the 4th coming up on Saturday. Now, some really good news for the upcoming weekend, for the holiday. The trends are our friend today. That is for sure. As we go into Saturday, here's a look at the latest GFS, and it looks like that the moisture is going to continue being shunted to the south enough that we are more than likely going to have a completely dry 4th of July. High pressure over Chicago Saturday midday. So we get into the late afternoon, the GFS is showing nothing. Other modeling tries to sneak a little moisture close enough that I have a 20% chance of rain in my TV forecast, but we'll probably remove that 20% chance if we get another couple of runs of the models under our belts to make sure that Saturday will, in fact, be dry. But good trends. So Saturday for the 4th, we should be in good shape. Sunday should be a beautiful day as well. Here's a look at Sunday's map. Again, the moisture's over the Ohio River Valley. This far to the north, we're still under the influence of high pressure. So, boy, do we deserve this. If we can get away with a dry afternoon Wednesday, dry Thursday, dry Friday, dry for the weekend, hey, our yards will finally, maybe start to resemble something other than swamps. As we get into next week, I do think the chances for rain will start to increase as the atmosphere starts to moisten. It's going to start to turn a little more humid as we go into the first part of next week, and we're done with the holiday weekend. As far as the longer range, we still don't have any heat waves coming. I think 85 is about as warm as the temperature will get here over the next week to 10 days. And here's a look at the 8 to 16 day outlook. Temperature anomalies here on the GFS ensemble. Still warm in the west. Still cooler than average in the plain states. No surprise there. Probably warmer than average in parts of the southeast and maybe in northern New England. But around the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, it'll either be near or maybe slightly below average for the period from the 8th to the 16th. So, not a lot of 90s coming, but also not a lot of really cool weather like we've had lately. We've had days lately where highs have been in the 60s and lower 70s. Averages are in the lower 80s as we get into July. So I think overall July as a whole will probably be pretty typical temperature-wise, much like June actually has been, and maybe a little wetter than average, but odds certainly don't favor it being the extremely wet month that we're finishing up here in June. Well, thank you for watching the Tuesday Night Weather for Weather Geeks. More updates throughout the evening on social media. I'll put together a list of monthly rainfall totals for you and bring you more up-to-date information on what the rest of the week has in store and the weekend as well. Thanks for watching and have a great Tuesday night.